This is Ron Caroni with Comic Privy, and today we have the writer of Clown Town. Just wanted him to tell us a little bit more about this story. I know it's coming to a close with the book. Can you tell us a little bit more about Clown Town, you being the writer and all?
Yeah, I'm Kevin LaPorte's. I'm the writer of Clown Town. It's a story basically about killer clowns taking out child abusers. I know you've written some about it on your site. The story kind of changes as the book goes along. It changes more from a horror slasher type of story to more of a dark fantasy. More from the damage that the abusers do to the damage that the abused people suffer. One of the things we wanted to focus on was how those people change over time, and we interpret that in the comic basically by transforming them into these circus personas that reflect the damage that they've taken from the abuse over time. So for example, a child that blames himself for the abuse that he sustained becomes the human cannonball, bangs itself into walls for the rest of his life in the comic book, in the circus. A child who expresses their anger through rage becomes a lion tamer that abuses the lions, doesn't feed them right, slashes them with a whip all the time. Those are just examples. So we wanted to change that from just the violence of the clowns to toward the end of the story showing the effects on the children as they're transformed into the carnies in the circus.
How do you come up with the initial idea? Because I remember I asked Amanda about it. How do you initially came with the idea of Clown Town?
We were just trying to come up with a central theme that would have some sort of meaning, some sort of resonance over time, something that we could base the story around. And the idea of something as harmful as the amount of gravitas of child abuse came up, and then we structured around it. We wanted some sort of protectors for the children that would be interesting. And slasher clown horror is a genre with a pretty mixed bag of products over the years. We wanted to take and make our clowns typical in some ways, but we wanted to make them protectors of the children. That's what clowns are supposed to be for. They're funny, they're supposed to be for kids, but they usually end up scaring adults all the time.
Yeah, I have a friend that's actually afraid of clowns, and he went to the military, and I'm still surprised he's afraid of clowns.
There's a lot of people that come to this show that walk away from our booth when they see these covers.
Seriously?
Grown men.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how it's kind of changed over time. It's a very fluid story. I think it translates well throughout, right through to the end. So we're real happy with how it's turned out.
How are the fans reacting right now?
We've gotten pretty good reviews. Everybody that buys it comes back and gives us feedback is happy with the story and the art. We haven't had one bad bit of feedback, which is surprising for our first extended project. We're really happy with that.
So I know that it's coming to a close now. What other projects do you plan on working on?
I've got a book coming out later this summer called For Horsemen. It's with a different artist, Nathan Smith. And the premise of that story, just briefly, is what if you took the four horsemen and made them like cowboys in the Old West? Not with all the supernatural powers necessarily, but with the similar types of themes of pestilence, famine, war, and death. So that's what I'll be doing this summer. Amanda's working on several different projects. A project called The Book from Arcana Comics with writer Eric Hendricks. And then we've got our webcomic called Rail that you can find at greyhavencomics.com, which is a strange kind of story. It's about teleporting omnipotent hobos that stand at the brink of apocalypse. We'll just go with that. It's a really cool story.
Is it hobos?
Yeah, we're happy about it.
Oh, wow. So I can see as far as your creativity, it kind of goes off the rail a little bit, you know, pardon the quote.
We like to do different genres, different takes on all kinds of different subjects, so yeah.
How long have you been writing?
Writing comics for about 3 years now.
Okay. I mean, do you do writing prior to that, different types of writing?
Technical writing. My degrees are in psychology. I do psychological reports, things like that. I did some recreational writing over the years, but nothing formal. Nothing that I tried to publish until we started working on comics.
And how did you initially fall into writing comics itself?
I've wanted to do it since I was a teenager.
You wanted to do it since you were a teenager?
Yeah, just a few years ago got around to actually making it happen.
Oh, wow. I must say congratulations for what you guys are doing. I've enjoyed the books, and I hope you guys continue success.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.